Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge.
All I got is bourbon.
Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Here we're back at it with the Jack Daniel's 2026 lineup of their 10, 12, and 14-year-old whiskey. Huge shout out, by the way, to Jack Daniel's. Thanks, by the way, for sending over the sample bottles. Always love enjoying their whiskey. Last night, I was actually sipping my own, like the full bottles, the ones that I bought myself, of the last year's version, which was the batch 1 of the 14-year-old, the last batch of the 12, and the 10. One thing I'll say about Jack Daniel's, honestly, if you think about it, they are very consistent, right? It's like whenever they release something and there's multiple batches of it, like, you know, that goes like year by year, they're very consistent in terms of like the quality of the whiskey. There's not a ton of variation, and I can actually appreciate that. I really can. And I've said it numerous times. I think Jack Daniel's in the last 7 to 10 years is probably the best overall distillery that has like done a really good job of rebranding themselves, coming out with different products, new finishes. They've really been kind of just pushing the envelope. So shout out to JD. All right, so I'm really excited for this one. Again, these are the brand new 2026 versions of the 10-year-old, the 12-year-old, and the 14-year-old. One cool thing that Jack Daniel's did this year, just go to their website, go directly to their website. They actually have an online sweepstakes where you can actually, for the first time, enter your name, like your name, your email address, and so forth, for the right to win and buy one bottle. So go on their website. You might have a chance to win a bottle. Again, only one. You can't, win all three, but you can at least win one. But if you're smart like me, get your better half, your cousin, get somebody else to also go online to that sweepstakes and enter their information. I'm just saying, hey, Mrs. Judge is in, my in-laws are in. But no, I'm really excited that Jack Daniel's actually has the sweepstakes. I think it's really cool to kind of give people that might have a harder chance of finding a bottle to go ahead and get a bottle. So that's pretty cool. All right, last thing before we dive into these, the 2026 releases. All three of these share the exact same mash bill. So all three of them, 80% corn, 12% malted barley, and then 8% rye. So an 80-12-8 breakdown, right? All three of them have that. And then all three, when you find them, they're not the full 750 milliliter, they're 700 milliliter. So a little bit less juice in there, but not too much. All right. Because of proof points, the 10-year-old is always the lowest proof, starting at 97, going up to the 14-year-old, which is the highest proof. We're going to start with the 10, then to the 12, to the 14. Fair? All right. Let's go ahead and jump into this real quick. So I had, again, last night, the last year's versions, and they were amazing. Again, very consistent. I had those last night, and I was like, top quality. I'm hoping that the 2026 releases are equally the same quality. We shall see. All right. Starting with the 10-year-old. So obviously this is the Jack Daniel's 10-year-old, so age 10 years. Proof, same proof point as the other releases, 97 proof. And this is batch 5, so this is the 5th version of the 10-year-old. The 10-year-old was the first one they came out with. So this is batch 5 of the 10-year-old. All right. Let's get into this real quick. Oh, man, I love that Jack Daniel's nose, boy. Tons of banana. Tons of like a very like a chocolate note, that peppery, that probably, I think the note from the charcoal filtration process as well. Oh man, I love like that sweet, smoky banana note. That's so fantastic. It's just amazing. It really is. All bananas for all day long. Oh my gosh. Last thing, MSRP. So MSRP, $90, which I'm actually pretty cool with, right? If you think about it, everyone says in the whiskey world, as long as it's $10 per year, so this is age 10 years, $90 for MSRP. I get it. Before people go there, I get it. I know a lot of liquor stores might mark it up. I can't, say what the price is going to be at every single liquor store, but MSRP is $90. Hopefully, if you find it, it's not too far off of that. Hopefully not. But again, will there be stores that mark it up? Of course. That's just the way people are, the way liquor stores are, unfortunately. Unless you're like in a state-controlled store, like a Virginia, Pennsylvania, then it's typically MSRP. All right. Let's get into this real quick. Oh, gosh, it's amazing. Gosh, you gotta love that banana note though. That's the 10-year-old is extremely banana forward. It might even be more banana than the last version from last year, from what I recall, even from last night. All right, here we go. Cheers to Jack Daniels, and cheers to each one of you out there. Very nice. From a palate standpoint, a great transition. Everything in the nose transfers to the palate. This is like a wow. It's almost slight. I think this might be sweeter than the last year's version of Jack Daniel's 10. This has a lot more of like almost like a caramelized bananas note to it. Think of like a bananas Foster. You know, when you go out, you get like a dessert. This is like a bananas Foster's note. This is a lot sweeter than the last version of it. Let me get my last little sip here. Wow, absolutely. So that's slightly different. I talked about consistency before, but this is slightly different. The other versions have always been traditional banana, brown sugar, leather. And that still all stands with this one as well, right? So you get some peppery notes. You still get some leather as well. You get that charcoal filtration, so you get like that spiciness. But this is a lot sweeter, in my opinion, than the other versions. But still damn delicious, just in a slightly different way, a sweeter way. Wow, that's nice. That's a slightly different pour. That's slightly different. I like that a lot. Wow. I don't know. I might like it better than the other versions because I have a sweet tooth, big time sweet tooth. That's really good. Damn, that's like bananas Foster's all day. All right, so now we're going over. Let's go to the 12-year-old. So the 12-year-old, again, same mash bill, just aged 12 years, so 2 extra years. Price standpoint, I really like this, at least from an MSRP standpoint. Again, I know a lot of stores are going to mark it up, but I'm talking about MSRP. For a 12-year-old product, this one, the MSRP is actually only $100. So that's not bad. That's less than the traditional $10 per year. So I respect Jack for doing that as well, for not like, you know, marketing up to be, they could do 120 and then everyone would say, yeah, sure, that's great. So I'm good with that. Age 12 years. And from a proof standpoint, same as the other version. So the proof on this one is 107 proof. All right, here we go. So, which as expected, higher proof point. So this is way more leathery. Tons more leather. Tons more oak. Not nearly as much banana. This, from a nose standpoint at least, is very much quintessential like the last version. So I should say, by the way, this is batch 4 of the 12-year-old. So batch 4. So the 4th release that they've ever did of the 12-year-old. From a nose, this reminds me very much of when I nosed and tasted the 12-year-old from last year's. I had it last night. The nose reminds me, I mean, almost like carbon copy. Oh yeah, a lot more leather. Very leathery. Very nice though. All right. Hey, real quick. 3 quick easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know if you've tried the brand new releases of Jack Daniels. What are your thoughts on it, right? These just came out, but if you've already had them, let me know your thoughts on them. As well as if you had last year's version or other versions, let me know your thoughts on just the Jack Daniels, I'll call it the 10, 12, and 14-year-old age-stated series. Let me know your thoughts on it. Last but not least, please make sure you all subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notification each and every time I release new content. Cool? All right. Jack Daniels 12-year-old. Batch 4, 107 proof. Cheers. Very similar. Very similar. That's to be expected. That's kind of what I was expecting when I had the first one. But the first one, you know, again, lower proof point, but had a lot more bananas than even the other batch, other batches of the 10-year-old. This 12-year-old is very much in line with what you would expect from a Jack Daniels product. You know, still had banana notes, but it has, for the age statement, it has a lot more oak, a ton more leather, a bit more of like peppery kind of a notes from that charcoal filtration process, a little bit of smokiness to it, but very overall well positioned from a palate standpoint. Nice even to long finish kind of goes here, and then it slowly fades away. But at 107 proof, that is like a perfect proof point. Got a little bit left in the glass. You guys know me. I do not leave good whiskey in the glass. Cheers again. That's really good. That's so crushable. You can sip this like all day. You can sip actually both of these all day. But you can sip this all day. At 107 proof, nice and clean, long, just stays. Just a perfect pour. It really is a perfect pour. Oh, man. That's good. So at the end, I'm going to give you which one is my personal favorite. Is that fair? All right. I'll give you the judgments for each one as well. But I'm going to give you which one is my personal favorite of the three. All right, let's go ahead and move over to the 14-year-old. So this is Jack Daniel's 14-year-old. So again, age 14 years. This is batch 2. Recall last year was the original batch. So this is just the second time this one came out. So again, age 14 years. MSRP, where these two were slightly less than the $10 per year rule. This one is slightly right at it, just slightly above, but not by much, right? MSRP is $1.50, but for a 14-year-old whiskey with an MSRP of $1.50, $150, that's really honestly not that bad. It really isn't. And then last but not least, proof. So the proof on this year's version is 117.6. Thinking back last year's version, the original version of the 14-year-old was, I think it was like 126 proof. Yeah, it was 126 proof. So this one is slightly lower proof, 117.6. But hey, not bad at all. Here we go. Let's get into this one real quick. All right. Age 14 years, MSRP $1.50. All right, let's get into this nose. Nice, very nice. A lot more, a ton more actually, obviously oak because it's age 14 years. Good influence of leather, still a very traditional Jack Daniel's note, if you will, to it, like nose rather. Good influence of bananas. Leathery, chocolate, bananas. Very similar nose to the 12-year-old actually, not too much different. I remember the last versions, the 14 versus 12, was a lot more like powerful, even from a nose standpoint, a lot more like pepper notes to it. But this one is very similar to the 12. Very similar actually, not too different. All right, here we go. Age 14 years, 117.6 proof. Cheers to Jack Daniel's. Okay, makes sense. Higher proof point, 2 more years than this one here. So this one's 107. This one's 117.6 proof. This has a little bit more, slightly more peppery, a bit more bold, like robust, if you will. Let me get that last little sip real quick. A little bit more peppery, a bit more bold, but still at 117.6 proof. It stays, even from like a palate, mid to the end palate, it stays the entire time, doesn't really fall off. The banana notes are there, but they're not as dominant as a 12-year-old, and definitely not as dominant as a 10-year-old. They're there, but they're not like the main part of the story, if that makes sense. It's more of the leather, more of the oak, more of like that that peppery kind of a note, if you will. But very nice, very well-rounded. All right. So Judge, if I see any of these on the shelf, and am I buying them? And if so, which one would you buy the most? All right. The verdict is in. First and foremost, if you find these for MSRP, absolutely, even slightly above MSRP, all 3 of these are buys. So that makes it easier, right? I don't even need to do the gavel 3 times. 1 gavel, 3 verdicts. There we go. But if you said, Judge, which one do you think, in your humble opinion, is the best? And why? More important, to me, the verdict is in. I think hands down, by far, the 12-year-old is the best. That's just in my personal opinion. I like the 10-year-old, but that is very sweet. That's a little bit sweeter than all the other versions that came out from before, its predecessors. But if you're looking for something that probably goes very well with a cigar, that is actually fantastic. That's like liquid dessert in a glass. That's dangerous. And then you got the 12 and the 14. The 14 is a little bit more oomph to it, if you will. But I think the 12-year-old is just elegant. It is well-rounded, and it is a perfect pour that you can sip the entire night. The 14-year-old has a little bit more umph to it, so if you're looking for something with a little bit more of a kick to it because of a higher proof point, then you might want to go with the 14-year-old if you like that. But for a overall well-rounded experience, the 12-year-old is where it is at. But hey, I'm gonna enjoy all three of these at the end of the day. Hey, as you see in this courtroom, peace, cheers, most important. Salute. Take care. See you guys.